To this workshop presentation on Georgia State University and our admissions process. Georgia State is known as one of the most innovative, diverse, and academically comprehensive universities in the nation. With 6 campus locations, students can be part of the Panther family in the hustle and bustle of downtown Atlanta, or stay close to home with one of our 5 perimeter college locations around Metro Atlanta. With our 11 colleges, students can major in over 250 degree programs, and so really the possibilities are endless when it comes to finding a major. Our location provides students the unique opportunity of having internships, jobs, and connections to the world's business, government, healthcare, nonprofit, and cultural communities, and having all of those opportunities right at their fingertips. All of this combined with our vibrant student life, our Division I sports, and our on-campus housing for our Atlanta campus allows students the ability to find their home away from home and a path to their career doing it the state way. So let's go ahead and get started on talking about our admissions process and what you really need to know for this year as if you are a senior applying to Georgia State for fall 2021. You can find all of the information about our admissions information at admissions.gsu.edu. When it comes to applying to Georgia State and us reviewing our applications, we are really solely based on an academic review process. So typically we will look at your GPA and your SAT and ACT scores in order to review you for admissions at Georgia State University. For students applying for fall 2021, we are test optional this year. So if you're currently a senior and you're applying or wanting to apply to Georgia State University, just know that we are not going to require the SAT or ACT. So we're really only going to be looking at your GPA for this year. Here we have our averages for our freshman profile. So something to keep in mind when it comes to understanding what it is that we're looking for Georgia State University. When it comes to your GPA, we will recalculate your GPA only looking at these specific classes right here. So the grades from these specific classes are the only thing that we will be looking at. We're not looking at any of your electives or anything like that when it comes to looking at your GPA and reviewing you for admissions to Georgia State University. When it comes to applying to Georgia State, especially if you're going to be applying to the Atlanta campus, our application will be found on the Common App. The Common App does have a personal essay and recommendation letter that it asks for you to complete. However, for Georgia State, these options or these two things are optional. However, one of the other changes that we have for this year, if you are a senior, because we are test optional this year, is that if you are wanting to be considered for merit scholarships, we highly recommend that you actually submit and complete the essay portion and the recommendation letter this year with your common application. Now, after you do submit your Common App, there are a few things to keep in mind when it comes to actually completing your application. Make sure that you pay your application fee. The fee for Georgia State is $60. Check with your high school counselor to see if you're actually eligible for an application fee waiver. If you have the waiver, you can submit the application without paying on the Common App and then log into your application status check later on to actually upload your fee waiver, or you can just send it to us, to one of us admissions counselors. I'll have my contact information at the very end. The next thing you want to make sure that you do is submit your high school transcript. We will need your official high school transcript in order to complete your application along with your application fee. Again, this year we are test optional. Typically, we would also need your test scores, but for fall 2021 students applying to Georgia State, test scores are optional, so you do not need to send your test scores unless you absolutely want to. In order to meet the priority deadline for Georgia State University, here is our timeline. So December 8th is the date to meet if you want to be considered for honors, for scholarship opportunities, and to get an early decision. Our final deadline is not until April 1, so even if you miss the December 8th deadline, you still have some time to apply to Georgia State. But just keep in mind those specific opportunities that come with applying early for that December 8th deadline. Our merit scholarships, like I mentioned earlier, are going to be a little bit different in terms of how we review students this year. Aside from your GPA, which will play a determining factor in whether or not we consider you for merit scholarships, that will definitely play a role. But on top of your GPA, We will also be looking at your personal essay, your recommendation letter that you've submitted through your comment application, and also your class rigor. So these things will be more holistic. Our review process will be more holistic, looking at all of these factors. For students who apply and submit, complete the application and apply to Georgia State before December 8th. Now, aside from these merit scholarships, we also have a lot of other opportunities at Georgia State when it comes to scholarship opportunities. Here we have our Presidential Scholarship and our Coca-Cola First Generation. These are our top academic scholarships. So if you are definitely a high achieving student, if you have a strong GPA, definitely go for these opportunities. We also have a lot of other opportunities for students to apply to scholarships from, the different departments here at Georgia State. You can go to our Scholarship Resource Center to find all of the other opportunities, because those other two scholarships and the scholarship that we offer, the merit scholarships that we offer through the admissions, are not the only opportunities at Georgia State. So using our Scholarship Resource Center as a resource for yourself can be very important. You can use our scholarship search page to find opportunities, the other opportunities that Georgia State has to offer, as well as external scholarship opportunities, and finding those safe resources, those safe websites to find additional scholarships outside of Georgia State as well. Now, since we talked about scholarships a lot now in this presentation, I do want to bring up financial aid and the FAFSA application. I do want to point out, however, that admissions does not handle any of the financial aid process. We do not handle your FAFSA application when you submit it to Georgia State, but it is an important part that is tied into your admissions process and your ability to attend the university. So I always like to make sure that to tell students about the FAFSA application, to put that in the front of their mind, especially now that we're in October. The application is now open for seniors applying to fall 2021. So make sure to go to studentaid.gov to complete or to start your account and start completing your form. You will be applying for the 21-22 academic year. This is the academic year that you'll be in when you start as a freshman next year. Now, make sure not to wait too long to submit your FAFSA. It's always important to start to complete it and submit it as soon as you can. The sooner the better when it comes to your FAFSA. It can take a minute to complete it. You need a lot of information. You need your parent or your legal guardian's tax information as well. So just make sure, to start now, so that way you have plenty of time to submit it, and next semester you're not in a hurry to actually complete your FAFSA. Here is our school code. Just also know that you don't need to be actually accepted to Georgia State in order to submit it. You can do all of this sort of simultaneously and really be proactive in your FAFSA process. Now, to conclude our presentation here, I just want to point out some next steps. As you complete your application, submit it, while you're waiting for a decision, continue to check your application status. Once you do get accepted to Georgia State, you will have a campus ID. Make sure to activate your campus ID. That is your student credentials to get into your student accounts, for you to check your FAFSA, your financial aid information, to check your student email, apply for housing next semester. Your campus ID is definitely your ticket to all of that. Also, make sure that you always have your Panther ID ready and on hand. Your Panther ID is your student ID for Georgia State. Once again, make sure to submit your FAFSA and work on any scholarship applications that you might find and that are out there. Always make sure to start working on that now and not wait until next semester, because next semester there won't be as many opportunities for scholarships as they are right now. And lastly, continue to check your email for more information about Georgia State, especially if you've been accepted to Georgia State. We will definitely send you communication on your next steps and what you need to know in order to enroll and complete your process for that. Thank you so much for joining in on this workshop and watching. Hopefully, it provided you with some good information. You can schedule a virtual campus tour at welcome.gsu.edu if that's something that you're interested in watching. You can also connect with me. My name is Stephanie. I'm one of the freshman admissions counselors, or my colleague Kenzo. We both work with Hispanic and Latinx students and families. We also both speak Spanish. So podemos practicar con ustedes en español también si necesitan alguna ayuda. So please definitely feel free to reach out to us, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.